Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. For this first video, I thought it'd be fun to kind of walk you guys through my value boxes. So I have a football box, baseball, basketball, basically anything from $1 to $5. I'd say at least 80% is probably in the $1 to $2 range. A few threes and then a few fives, but it's usually tries being in that $1 to $2 kind of value range. I also have about three piles over here that I've already sorted and priced and labeled. Just have to get them, into the boxes. I have a show next week. It's actually only my second card show, so from show one to show two, I obviously added one from one box to now three, and the goal has been to kind of bring the pricing on these cards, mostly to $1 or $2 a piece. So as you'll see here, kind of the approach for the most part. Um, Major stars, try to keep it about $1. Um, Try to get some variety. Iconic set like Prism, 2012 Prism is probably the only, base cards you'll see unless they're, true all-time greats. You know, LeBron James or some other, iconic set, in which case, you know, major stars will be mixed in. Um, yeah, I kind of start um, here. I think I had just a few veteran cards I had picked up. So Russell Wilson at a 199. Noah Fant. Javonte Williams is off to a really hot start. It's more serial numbered Broncos cards. So everything's sorted by team to keep it kind of easy for people who show up and want to look through the cards. So uh, have existing cards. A checkerboard Prism, another Russell Wilson. An older Elways. Jake Plummer at a 99. Champ Bailey base, Philip Lindsay parallel, Terrell Davis, some SI for kids cards, which I think are generally kind of undervalued by the hobby overall. Then just some others, Brock Purdy, second year, this is a 2025 score, Drake May, kind of the trophy collection illusions, and then a Tua card. So, again, all these we'll just go in on the box. See Buccaneers. Got to remember my alphabet. It's the only challenge, but definitely makes it easier when people come up. See kind of a Steve Young, green parallel, Brad Johnson laser. So those are the types of cards I kind of look for. Pricing wise, I usually try to keep things, again, more recently in that dollar range. So here's kind of a 49ers section. Steve Young, Shock, another Joe Montana trophy collection, more Brock Purdy's, some, 90s inserts, old Steve Spurrier. For parallels, certain players, definitely in that $2 range, but I'm trying to work it, most of them down further, kind of keep things, just $1 and just make things a lot simpler for anyone kind of comes through and looks at these boxes. Patriots. Um, and yeah, I mean, I think, as I'm going through it too, the process is not particularly hard, but as I get things, I'd love to just get to a point where everything's $1. It would make it a lot easier um, and not too time consuming. Right now, I use these Avery labels. It's only a couple of bucks for about 500 labels, and then I just cut them in half, kind of the long way, um, to kind of get the labels, and then just kind of stick them on. If it's serial numbered, as you'll see, uh, I'll mark what it's serial numbered out of, just to make it a little more simpler for someone who's uh, visiting for the first time, or just not as familiar with which parallels are serial numbered and which aren't. Uh, and then everything's just separated, and rookies are kind of in their own section as well. But I haven't repriced anything that was already priced for the last show. So it is possible, some of these cards you may have gone up, some have gone down. Um, but that's I guess that's part of the fun of going through a dollar box, right? Is you don't know what you'll find. I think they're generally, pretty fair. Sorry, I just had a lighting malfunction. But yeah, so this show upcoming is going to be mostly Pokemon. There'll be it's about 60 tables, kind of a local-ish show. Um, yeah, and then about 20% probably are going to be 10 to 20% of the tables will be sports cards. So I think it should be kind of a nice opportunity. Probably not crazy busy for me as just someone from the sports card perspective. But I will have some Pokemon. That's what actually kind of brought me back into collecting, and then more on the dealing side was Pokemon. I found my old binder. I didn't even really know there was Pokemon was going as crazy as it was earlier this year. I just wanted to finally sort through my things, and I was like, wow, there's some value here if I go through grading and that whole process, and it just continued to be a really really strong year for those cards. Commanders. And do have some 2025 score. Obviously, Dylan Gabriel, Trevor Etienne haven't done a ton of haven't had a ton of play yet, but that is in there as well. And most of this process isn't too time consuming. Can definitely streamline it moving forward, but it's generally, as I kind of mentioned, um, I'll get the cards in, kind of sort out which ones are going to be dollar, which ones are going to be $2 cards or higher. I'm not comping everything, but I'll try keeping things reasonably. I think in the ballpark, right? So rookie parallels usually $1 or $2 unless it's probably a quarterback. Um, major stars, uh, you know probably do again maybe $2 for their parallels, $1 for just kind of all-star Pro Bowl type players, but not anything crazy. Like the Tyreek here. Um, JJ McCarthy, Illusions parallel. See there. And then kind of you know cool rookie patch autos. Someone like Blake Watson. I don't think he's even on the Broncos. He was rookie last year. So maybe that's still selling, but it's nothing crazy. And a lot of Bo Nixes. I have some of his silvers. Those will be separate um, in their own box. Kind of more in the display case. I have everything kind of $5 to $20. Ungraded raw singles, and then for something like these, they will just be in here, the lower end commons. And I try not to keep any row too packed, so I have to slide some of these just to the fourth row, because again, I don't want to have any one column too jam packed. But yeah, that's generally the football box. Again, just a mix of players. Some of the ones from again, cards I set up last show, maybe priced a little higher, but I'm trying to get things down in the dollar range. So yeah, definitely, if this is the type of football box you'd want to see at a show, feel free, and we can move on to the basketball. Yeah, so this is the basketball box. Pretty similar approach as football. Here you'll see, you know, solid players, but their parallels, $1. Maybe someone like Dwayne Wade color match, a couple bucks. Bam Adebayo Hollow Prism, that'll be $1. Some all-time greats, their base cards, at $1. But that's generally kind of how I approach these. You can just flip through. Zion mosaics for $1. Occasional couple bucks. Halliburton, maybe $2. A lot of Lucas. Again, kind of 90s cards for $1. Something like AD, a couple dollars. Yeah, mostly $1 to $2 for kind of everything area. Steph Curry's maybe the exception where I go $3. Anthony Edwards, Chet Holmgren's. Really the goal. Cool, Tony Parker, Living Legends. Yeah, but really the intent for all of these, keep it at $1 or close to it. Have a ton of Kawhi Leonards, probably 28 million Kawhi Leonards. Some nice Donovan Mitchells. So those are the kind of the exception where I go up to 2 if it's kind of a nicer parallel. And as you'll see here, of course I have to add in just Luka Doncic, like the Emerald parallels too, but these others, all really $1 for him as a Maverick player. Someone like Anthony Edwards, and then Kevin Garnett, some good Timberwolves cards. A little bit $2 range. Steph Curry, obviously $1 to $2, all the way up to $4 for that kind of color match mosaic, and then more Kawhi Leonard's, $1 to $2 for those. Again, now for some of the Lakers, let's see, we have just a few 2024 Lucas and LeBron. So those ones, again, they're kind of color match or just recent releases. I think those are some of the first cards with Luka in a Lakers jersey. So those ones I do have priced a little on the higher side. As mentioned, someone like SGA, second year cards. I will include those for people who are particularly high on him. I think those will be nice finds. And then another couple SGA snuck in here. Then some other talented players, some RJ Barretts, some Damian Lillards. This is 2015. Number Donovan Mitchell, some Dennis Rodman, some really cool Fleer medals. I think these are just love the designs of the late 90s. So creative compared to some of the things you see just very common nowadays. Not saying it's one's better than the other, but just in terms of uniqueness, I do think you just don't see the same level of unique designs. I think that's fairly clear. RJ Barrett. Yeah, so I think basketball is actually the best-selling box or best category I had at my last show. A lot of people were pretty, which was surprising. It was just last month, so it was still very much off season. But people were very eager to kind of go through those boxes. And then I can go through. I don't have anything else to kind of filter through, but I do have a baseball box and probably least knowledgeable on baseball, transparently. And so I don't have as many cards, but I also have some, soccer, some wrestling. I have to mix in some kind of more women's sports, so I have to finish setting that up, but I'll get this one pulled up next.